Hi, this is Vicki Romaine with Cheerful Greetings, and today we're going to do some background work. I'm going to be using some mirror cardstock, and I will show you how it looks when you start with it in just a moment. But I wanted to show what I have done with it. I've made myself a couple of backgrounds here. This green one, I use kind of a layering technique to do it. If you'll notice on it, you'll see your greens and blues and a little dab of yellow coming through there. This red and purple one is done pretty much in layers also. They really shine. I mean, you can see from the light that they really shine. This one, I did kind of a blending technique on it. There's no real patterns as such. It just flows from one shade to the other. And I'll try to show you both techniques in my tutorial today. But this is basically what we're going to try to do. And let's put these up and see what we have here. They're made from mirror cardstock. And I have a couple of pieces here that I haven't done anything with. Now this comes 8.5 by 11, so I can get 4 pieces out of a piece of cardstock, and they are 4 1/4 by 5.5. So you can get 4 out of one sheet. So this is what they look like originally. You can tell that my light is kind of shining in. In fact, you can see my hand reflecting. And that's why it's called mirror cardstock. Now, the first thing I'm going to do with a piece here is I'm going to get out me an embossing folder. Here is one I did not use in my samples that I showed you a while ago. So we'll put this cardstock inside. I want to make sure I have it going the right direction. And the pieces are the same size as the folder, so that works nicely. I'll take this and put it in my big shot. I only had to run this through the big shot one time. It picks up the embossing nicely. And it's not necessary to run it more than once. Sometimes when you emboss something, you have to run it twice to get a nice impression. And as you can see here in front of me, I have a very nice impression. Now, I'm pulling out some of my alcohol inks. I want to use some colors that are different from the ones I used in my samples above. So I'm going to go, I think, with the different shades of blue. I picked me out a couple of shades of blue that I'm going to use on my background. I'm just putting the alcohol ink down drop by drop. I'm not trying to cover any particular area. I'm just putting the various shades in different locations on the cardstock. I usually try to use 3 different shades or 3 different colors. And sometimes I'll only use 2, like in the one above, the gold and rust color, orange. I only use 2 colors there. Now I'm going to take my tool and blot the ink into the cardstock. No particular pattern, just trying to get the drops out and to spread it. I will do this 2 or 3 times to and kind of let it dry out a little bit. Not completely, but let it dry a little bit between layers. And when I say layers, I meant between the different times that I put the alcohol ink on it. Because I may decide that, I want more green in one place, or darker blue in another. In this particular case, most of them are blues. But even then, I try to kind of wait a little bit so it'll show up in layers. Okay, I think I'm finished with my piece here, and I like it very, very much. As you can tell, the coloring is kind of in splotchy areas, which is exactly what I want. Now we're going to do one more piece, and let's see what colors I can get for it. Okay, I'm putting some drops of red on, and then I think I'm gonna pick some yellow this time. The next, I'm going to kind of blend these two together. Most of the time I put 3 different shades or 3 different colors on it. But this time I think I'm going to go mainly with the 2. I'm also spraying a little alcohol on it, and now I'm making it run from one side to the other. And this is what I did with the yellow and orange one that you see at the top there. I did it as a blending one by putting alcohol on it and letting it run. Next, I picked up a cotton pad, and what I'm going to do now is kind of rub the top of the flowers. That is what the design is on this one. It's hard to see from the angle and the lighting and everything, but I'm trying to wipe the alcohol from the top of the flowers and making them lighter. And this seems to be doing it. This is another way that you can kind of lighten the alcohol, especially if you put a little alcohol on the pad itself and wipe it down. Okay, I think I've done as much as I planned to do to this one, and as I bring it over to the light, you should be able to see what I've done. There we go. The light is picking up the flowers here, and you can see that I kind of made them a lot lighter, and I put a little more yellow in that area and wiped it down. Okay, let's quickly do one final piece here since I already have it embossed. I think I'm going to be using my blues here. I'm going to use different shades of blue, and we'll put this on quickly and see what we come up with. And we're going to do this one in layers again. I'll put just a couple on first, and then I'll go back and add some more blue tones. As you can tell, this is a fairly quick technique. Once you get out all your supplies and all, it doesn't take long to do. My problem with me is I have trouble reading the names of the different inks because it's written so small. But I go by the colors, and it seems to work out so far. Now, after I finish this one, I want you to look at the different ones I did, if you don't mind, and tell me which one you like the best, and so I can get an idea if you like the layering effect more than the blending or rolling the ink. Actually, far as it's being blended in both ways, but one of them, it's a natural blend because you're rolling the ink from side to side. But this one I'm doing now is what I call the layering technique. And I'll put them all out in front of us in a few minutes. And I really would like to know which one you like the best. Here's the dark blue one. I used more of the darker shade of blue than I did the lighter shades. I hope you enjoyed watching me make these backgrounds. You can see that this is an endless project. You can use all sorts of embossing folders. They don't always have to be the same one. And then you can use any color combination that you desire, whether you use 3 inks or 2 inks. But it really changed the appearance of my mirror cardstock. If you enjoyed this, please come back and see me and see what I have in store for you for next time. In the meantime, have a great crafting day, and don't forget, please subscribe.